This week.
Down, a creature.
He said, come.
This week, developer Survios announced that they're working with 20th Century Games on a new Aliens game. It's planned for PC, consoles, and VR, so you better believe we're getting a PSVR2 version. It's a single-player action horror game that features an original storyline set between the Alien and Aliens films, where a battle-hardened veteran has a vendetta against the xenomorphs. They're saying we'll get more details on July 21st at San Diego Comic-Con, so stay tuned, because this is great news, but without a teaser, trailer, or even a single screenshot, it's hard to get too excited. Steam's VR Fest is taking place all this week from July 18th to the 25th, so expect to see a lot of PC VR games that'll be making their way over to PSVR2 early next year. What we know so far is that there'll be demos and updates on a lot of upcoming VR games like Blockstar, Bad Dreams, Hubris, and more, but since it's the very first Steam VR Fest ever, no one's exactly sure what to expect. That aside, it's awesome to see developer Dark Curry participating in the event with their highly anticipated and long-awaited hack-and-slash game UNDEAD CITADEL, which proves to all the naysayers out there that the game is indeed still in development. Now the big question is whether the PSVR1 version, which is still listed on Dark Curry's website alongside the Steam VR logo, is still coming, or if the development has moved on to PSVR2.
Abaddon's minions! What did that puny god promise you in exchange for your souls, huh?
It's been a while since we checked in with Distortion VR, in development for PSVR1 by the single-person team over at Future Mental Games. Most everything we'd seen so far included some pretty basic first-person shooting, albeit all taking place in some very cool cyberpunk locations. And as we get closer to launch, it's interesting to note a few things. First, the description on Steam alludes to what could be some deeper narrative elements, and gives us an idea of what kind of places we'll be exploring. But more exciting than any of that, though, is that this week we just got confirmation that Distortion is also in development for PSVR2. Well, despite all claims that Twilight Zone was coming to PSVR1, the most recent GameSpot article suggests otherwise, stating not just once, but twice that a PlayStation VR2 version will be available sometime in the future, with no mention of PSVR1 whatsoever. A free update came to Beat Saber this week featuring 87 new One Saber levels. The maps span everything from OSTs to DLC packs, and while fun by their own right, can also be great training to get your less dominant hand up to speed. Ever since Resident Evil Village was finally confirmed for PSVR2 during last month's State of Play, we've been wondering about some of the finer details, like whether this would be a free upgrade or not for people who already bought Village. But according to the official website, the PlayStation 5 version of Resident Evil Village will be compatible with PlayStation VR2. There's no asterisk or mention of a paid upgrade, and considering everyone who bought it on PlayStation 4 can upgrade their copy of Village to the PS5 version for free, it does seem like everyone who bought the game will have access to the PSVR2 version for free. Now, if this all checks out, that's a pretty cool move on Capcom's part, considering we know a lot of people who would have bought a brand new SKU or paid for an upgrade in order to play this on PSVR2. In 2044, a rogue tactical nuke crashed into the small island on the coast of Tabor. The blast decimated much of the island and damaged a good amount of the mainland, with pockets of nuclear radiation promising a gruesome fate for any who enter. With communications damaged and being trapped inside the fallout zone, the remaining NATO forces were defeated. Intense skirmishes continue as each faction suspects the other of being responsible for the blast. With limited resources, the faction scavenged the countryside for intel and equipment to support a new mission. So get ready to discover the origins of the missile, gain control of the facility, loot the towns around you, evade detection, and most importantly, survive when Ghost of Tabor launches whenever it's ready on PSVR2.
This week.